weekly cryptocurrency podcast presented by Crypto Finder. HODL That Thought will guide you through the crazy world that is cryptocurrency, as seen through the short-sighted eyes of your hosts Mark, Adam, and Liz. Read our disclaimer, understand our approach, and then sit back and enjoy our podcast.
Hello and welcome to HODL That Thought, your weekly podcast about the roller coaster world of cryptocurrency. And boy, oh boy, has it been a roller coaster. To my left is Graham Cook.
Yep.
Also to my left, and to
your further left.
To my further left. Although, were you to circumnavigate the globe, you would be to my right.
True.
Is Richard Whitten.
How you going?
Filling in for Liz Berry, who is off gallivanting about in parts unknown, enjoying her time away from us, no doubt.
Probably. Possibly causing crypto crashes in her travels.
Very possibly.
Inadvertently.
Very possibly. It seems like the kind of thing that Liz would do. Crypto crashes and probably a fair amount of, say, moped crashes.
Yeah.
Segway crashes.
Possibly at the same
crashes.
time. Laptop on the lap. Trading in currencies, making mistakes while driving, causing traffic accidents at the same time. A complete mess.
What the most devastating Segway crash in history has been?
I can tell you,
slow motion but high damage.
One of the founders of Segway actually died by accidentally driving his Segway off a cliff.
Oh, you're not serious, really?
I am 100%.
He segued out of this world.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's quality.
That's got to be one of the more devastating Segway crashes.
Like, why did I put in brakes?
The slow, well-organized roll towards the end.
And there's something about a Segway just...
That was not... Yeah.
That was the Segway. The Segway company calling, demanding to stop trash talking the founders of the.
The Red Cross actually calling for blood, literally.
Wow, goodness!
Mate, once they get a taste to it, once they get their hooks in,
they never leave you alone.
Tell you what, they're like a Segway salesman on following up a hot lead.
Maybe it's probably an emergency batch to encounter some massive Segway accident that's just happened.
Most likely,
right as this podcast was on.
So segueing from that into some news you can use. Before we get into the actual news, Grim, you've got a pretty interesting piece up on the site this week.
Yes, I've been working on something for a little while. I basically tried a couple of months ago to get my head around crypto mining because I was going to write a piece for the site that was based around whether it's economical to mine cryptocurrency in Australia. But in order to really understand how to calculate that, I had to kind of go back to basics and get my head around the kind of from scratch theory behind cryptocurrency and mining and the way transactions happen online and how to calculate for yourself whether it would be valuable to mine cryptocurrency in whatever area you're in. I mean, it was an interesting journey and it ended up revealing so much stuff that it kind of expanded beyond what would be one traditional article. So I've decided to put into which will be 4 consecutive insights blogs starting this week on Finder. So the first one this week is a little bit of an introduction. And it will just discuss kind of the basics, and it will discuss encryption and decryption, and it will discuss what hashing is and how that relates to cryptocurrency. So basically, if you're sending somebody a message online, it's quite easy to copy anything that gets sent online. So if you're sending a message and you're signing the message to say this is authorized that I'm sending it and you're receiving it, how do you send it with your signature while also hiding your signature? So that's what the first one is going to discuss.
Yeah, actually, I read the piece and I found it extremely illuminating about the encryption and the hashing process. It was not something I knew much about. But I think the good thing about the piece is that you've actually managed to break it down in a really clear sort of way about both how it actually works and how it's secure and how people can actually verify with this sort of as a 2-step process and as a public and a private signature. They're linked together. But it's also this one-way kind of encryption thing. It's quite I think it's quite a complex sort of topic, but I found it quite illuminating. I couldn't do a lecture on the subject after reading, but I felt like okay, now I actually understand the fundamentals and how they actually can practically allow you to both make something secure and encrypted, but also use it in a way that someone can therefore verify it without breaking the whole thing or kind of revealing too much.
So,
it's quite
So would you say that you are making this entire topic accessible to dum-dums?
That is, well, I was a dum-dum at the beginning. I'm still to a degree a dum-dum. I wouldn't be able to do a lecture on it either.
100% dum-dum.
But if you're coming at it from no perspective at all, this is probably a good source. I mean,
like if you're sitting in the corner, poking yourself in the eye with a stick, you know, kind of drilling a bit and just staring at the wall, then this is the article for you.
Well, I mean, it's more entertaining than The Wall, probably.
I would say my brain hurt less after reading it than it did before. As a dum-dum.
First, we taught Richard to read. And then he read this.
Reading is not unlike an encryption process that's entirely open, and anyone can access it once they've learned.
It's kind of like by necessity complicated though, because if you think about sending stuff online digitally, right? If I send you a photograph, a picture by email, you know, I have the photograph. I send you a copy. You have the photograph. But if you're transferring cryptocurrency, it needs to very much be. The transaction needs to be of the effect that I no longer have the thing and you definitely have the thing. And so it needs to disappear from my possession and reappear in your possession, which is why this type of encryption and some other stuff that we'll get into further down the blog in the next kind of couple of weeks will
that is fairly sophisticated. That's interesting.
Yeah. And this is on the Graham Cook Insights blog.
Yeah, this is the finder.com.au, Insights blog, which I haven't actually done a blog entry in a little while, so that this will be 4 consecutive weeks of crypto.
And you cover all kinds of topics though in that blog.
It's it's basically like a consumer finance blog, so it's all consumer related, lots of credit card stuff and such.
And Richard, would you say that after this morning, having overcome your lifelong battle with illiteracy and reading this blog, you feel like the world's being opened up a bit for you?
Yeah, I'm heavily into books now. That's a thing I can read.
Books or ebooks?
No, all of it, all words.
any printed word.
E-books, slow down, sir.
I just learned to read this morning.
Actually, there's another Insights blog on that ebooks, and
actually, I did read that one, and you were. I remember.
Books are back.
I disagreed with it. I was like, you were saying that. Print books are bad, essentially, and ebooks because for environmental reasons. I think you were saying, right? Yeah, I don't know why.
Making a comeback, and that's a bad
I remember
thing.
reading that, and I was like, I like print books. Damn you! But it was a good piece. You were arguing the environmental factors.
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah,
the ebook is worth a certain number of books, but if you read over a certain amount, it's more environmentally friendly to just get an ebook. Mind you, I like real books myself.
Yeah, of course, so. But no denying the numbers, I guess. Yeah, nice.
Well, that was some news you can use. Here's some news that we refuse to make applicable to your life in any way. It's moving the needle. Of course, cryptocurrency, it's been a huge thing all over the world, as we know. And it's particularly been a big thing in countries that have very unstable or untrustworthy currencies. But a senior official with the Reserve Bank of Australia, here in Australia, where we live, has said that he doesn't think that Bitcoin is going to take off in Australia. So the head of payments policy, Dr. Tony Richards, said that basically the stability of the Australian dollar means that Bitcoin is unlikely to be widely adopted. Now, he himself actually does own a small amount of Bitcoin, which he says he's owned since 2014.
Nice.
But he said that basically because we have a strong currency, that it's quite unlikely that we'll see a huge adoption of cryptocurrency in Australia. He says when a country doesn't have a credible currency, then people might look for other ones. Whether those are cryptocurrencies or something like the US dollar is another issue. But we in Australia have a perfectly credible currency called the Australian dollar. Now, but I have to say, do you guys think that the adoption of cryptocurrency really has anything to do with whether or not people believe in the stability of a particular fiat currency, or is it more philosophical?
There's a real life test case for this happening right now, potentially. I don't know about the crypto side of it, but there's been lots of news recently about Iran and protests in Iran because the main currency there has become so unstable that and the price is changing so quickly that people who are selling goods at stalls and markets don't know what price they should be selling stuff at 1 hour to the next because the price keeps fluctuating. So there's massive riots in Iran about this. So there's a fiat currency that is completely unstable and unreliable. And maybe, it's not quite set up infrastructure-wise for that to be the solution for that now, but in future.
That's interesting. But then I guess in most countries where cryptos essentially started, countries like the US or in the West with relatively stable currencies, we've seen a massive adoption regardless.
Yeah.
But those specific cases are really interesting, and maybe those are the sort of the better test cases for the future of crypto, perhaps.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it's like crypto isn't exactly known for its rock solid stability.
Yeah, it's a very different thing.
It's incredibly volatile. And if I were selling goods in a marketplace in Iran, I would have the exact same problem.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's mainly a commodity and not a transactional.
Exactly, it's like moment to moment. I'm going to have.
Then could you not perhaps maybe in the specific case of Iran, could they perhaps make some sort of currency for their own specific needs that maybe would be a crypto, but it would perhaps not be a commodity or not fluctuate the same way. Maybe it's that the specific needs on the ground could generate some.
I think that we'll see that happen. That we'll see the market rationalize itself into a very few much more stable transactional currencies over time.
Yeah.
That will have, as we've talked about many times, that Bitcoin could potentially be, say, the gold standard, the store of value, whereas you have other coins like maybe Ethereum or Ripple or whatever maybe that become the much more stable transactional currencies.
Yeah, it could go in many different ways.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. General advice only. I don't know what I'm talking about. So
I would love to see, or not love to see, but imagine a case where, let's say, like the US slaps sanctions on Iranian cryptocurrencies. And then you have a whole, because I mean that's part of why the economic mess they're in is because they have a lot of difficulties, trading with the outside world. I mean, I wonder if you could see.
So it's not so much the outside world's fault in that situation.
Well, I mean, yes, regardless of whose fault it is. Don't get me started on Iran.
Here on our geopolitical podcast.
It'd be interesting to see, like, if that could be, so let's say, the West slapping sanctions on cryptos. That would be a fascinating development.
But then it's like, how do you control or regulate something like that?
I don't know. Can you sanction? Friends, can you sanction a cryptocurrency?
That's interesting because it goes to the increased potential increased legitimacy of cryptocurrency, which is where my news story kind of links into this actually as well. After the commotion of the Bitcoin price rising to 20K and then crashing earlier in the year, or was it the end of last year? Facebook, Google, Twitter, Snapchat, a bunch of other online providers all banned cryptocurrency ads completely. So the news is now that Facebook have opened up their platform to people advertising cryptocurrency again. Though you have to apply to actually advertise. Facebook have said financial products and services frequently associated with misleading or deceptive promotional practices were banned previously, but now people can apply to advertise, though they're still banning advertisements for ICOs. But interesting to see now whether Google, Twitter, Snapchat and the other guys will follow suit.
I think between like the targeted ads and memes posted by your racist uncle, this can only make the Facebook user experience all the better.
I think you'll find most of them are
getting
actually
better,
from your
it?
racist uncle, though, if you tally them up,
The majority.
Yeah.
Everyone has a racist uncle on Facebook, don't they? It's not
some of those uncles have crypto.
Yeah.
Racist cryptocurrencies.
But it's like that. The user experience just keeps getting better and better. Now we get re-spammed with crypto ads. So
there was another side to that story too, which was that Facebook are looking at investing in their own research into blockchain technology. So
that way you could therefore verify those racist memes through the blockchain.
Right.
And be like, who made this? Where did this come from?
Yeah, or Facebook could finally keep its users' data secure when they sell it to third parties. So there you go.
Nice. Well, my news story comes out of Switzerland, where a Swiss NGO has said that they will now accept crypto donations. They provide food, healthcare, and education in Tanzania and also in Malawi. And they're partnering with a company called CryptoPal, that's crypto with a K, to develop sort of a platform by which they can accept donations. And the NGO is named Help to Kids, that's 2 with the number 2. So,
Is this at all related to Bitcoin 2 Gen, the Steven Seagal vehicle?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Unless he founded the NGO. Possibly. Although I feel like Steven Seagal would be more likely to provide sort of, I don't know, weapons and
Yeah.
sort of military aid rather than
Yeah. Well,
food
he
and
provides
medicine.
help to kids by providing pain to thugs.
Mm-hmm. It's the
That's his
it's the
thing.
other arm of the NGO space, right?
That's
Food
right.
and medicine, and then
Steven
crushing
Seagal
enemies.
beatings. Yeah,
there's the two equal arms, I believe.
that's right. One
of the
doesn't
end.
work without the other, really. It's like without Steven Seagal to crush your enemies, then all your good intentions are for naught.
Exactly. Someone will just take all your food and your medicine. Yeah. So that's interesting. There's already a few NGOs that currently accept crypto donations. In this case, Help to Kids is actually saying that if they receive donations via crypto, it will actually help them cut their overheads by 10%. Doesn't specify how. I'm not sure how that works.
Well, because they alleviate credit card charges and...
I guess so.
Yeah.
Once you take into account, the cost of developing whatever sort of program to work out those transactions. I guess that will reduce their costs in that way.
That's interesting. That's a big thing, discussion thing within, because I used to work in the not-for-profit industry before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a big discussion there as to what platforms of payment should be accepted by not-for-profits, because it's more expensive, for example, for a not-for-profit to accept American Express versus Visa and MasterCard payments, because the charges to the retailer or the charity in this case are much higher for Amex, and that's what pays for your freaking flyer points and stuff. But so most charities, a lot of the time will be like, we just don't accept Amex because we can't accept that 3 or 4% cut in the donation. But if you look at the actual amount of money Amex users donate versus Visa versus MasterCard, it's 4 or 5 times bigger the average donation for American
That
Express
makes sense.
users. So it'd be interesting to look at those compared to crypto donors with much lower fees.
That is fascinating. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, crypto donors, like, it's basically Ashton Kutcher whipping out his phone and splashing like $4 million at you. So, and he could do that at any time.
This is
because,
true.
He likes to punk people. At any moment, you could be seconds away from Ashton Kutcher jumping out from around a corner and giving you $4 million of Ripple.
It could be punking you though. It could be Dogecoin, and then he devalues the currency massively overnight. It's $4 million actually. Now it's only $400.
I think he's gone into a bit more benevolent punking, where he punks people with really nice things, like, surprise, punked! I just gave you a bunch of money.
So that kind of Oprah style.
Exactly.
Punking.
Exactly.
But
everyone gets a Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's it.
But he, he's still wearing the Von Dutch trucker hat, still jumping out from around a corner, and there's probably, like a low tier, like, hip hop artist involved at some point in the ruse. But
he's got to stay on brand,
exactly. But he's punking for
well,
a
no,
good
if
cause
it's positive, it's like, what's the positive version of punking? Spunking? Is that
We've coined a term, folks. We've coined a term.
Abort. Oh God. Well,
crypto punking. No.
With that very disturbing note, let's wrap up the news for this week and move on to some tomfoolery. It's Craptocurrency. Graham brought us a story a few weeks ago of the amazing story of Dennis Rodman's goodwill trip to North Korea on behalf of a cannabis-based cryptocurrency.
And the phenomenal interview that resulted from it.
Weeping interview he gave. Well, cannabis-based cryptocurrency seems to be a bit of a trend. However, it doesn't always go to plan. Rapper The Game, who I like any rapper whose name starts with an indefinite article, is being sued over a cannabis crypto he was involved in, right? So he was helping to promote this cryptocurrency company that claimed that would change the cannabis industry by forming a path towards legalization and a way to solve nearly every issue facing the cannabis industry.
Big claim.
Big claim. It's called Paragon. And they said that they would track every stage of cannabis cultivation, from purchasing of seeds all the way down the line to the dispensary, selling the final product to consumers. So, as we like to say on this podcast all the time, from farm to table.
I was going to say, from farm to pipe. Yeah, that's
right.
From farm to bong. That's great.
From farm to moody observations about the Grateful Dead.
From farm to pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, from farm to bag of Funyuns and Rush mixtape.
That's a bit specific.
Quite. Irish version, that would be Meanies.
But still the Rush mixtape, right?
Taylor Crisps, I think.
Still
no. What would be the mixtape? That's it. U2 mixtape?
Kettle Chips and Frenzel Rom would be the Australian version, I think.
I feel like you still need the All Rush mixtape. I mean, how are you going to do this if you don't at least listen to Tom Sawyer? Anyway, no one at this table obviously speaks from any experience whatsoever.
Not with Rush.
Well, the problem with this crypto brand here, Paragon Coins, is that rather than tracking every stage of cannabis cultivation from the purchase of seeds all the way down the line to the dispensary selling the final product to consumers, they're actually taking their customers' money and investing it in real estate. So
classic. The old cannabis crypto real estate scam.
That's right. It's one as old as time.
Whom among us has not
right.
fallen for that?
Much like the Spanish prisoner. This is a long con that dates back maybe thousands of years. The cannabis cryptocurrency switcheroo is what the ancients.
Classic 3-card Monty trick.
That's right. Yeah. That's what the ancients called it. So the game actually made several videos with the company's CEO, kind of leveraging his fame and social media following to pump up this ICO. So the people suing are seeking unspecified damages, and they want to a court order that declares the company and its executives broke the law by basically taking people's money and putting it into real estate rather than the actual coin offering they said.
Which feels illegal to me.
It
but
does.
I guess if you say
illegal.
it's for a cryptocurrency, then you can just the laws magically don't apply to anything. I think that's how some people seem to feel.
Yeah,
you can do with it.
You just say it's a crypto and just bang. It's like
right.
You're
but
in a gray
it
space.
feels like you should be using your investors' money to actually develop the offering you said you were going to instead of just
feel
buying
like there's
real estate.
laws in that. Yeah, I'm sure.
Seems like there should be. So anyway, the game has been ensnared in this deadly game of cat and mouse, I guess.
Cat, mouse, and weed and house.
Ooh,
yes,
wow.
pot and house bat. That's fantastic. That was great. That was great.
I was with the puns for some reason.
Yeah, just you know what? Let's cut it off right here. We'll see you next week, folks.
Goodbye.
Oh, exciting! Now I get to talk about what seems to be my most regular topic of conversation on this financial comparison site Cryptocurrency podcast, which is PornHub. Yeah. So you may remember a few weeks ago we talked about PornHub and Verge, and basically Verge kind of like I don't want to say scamming, but misleading their investors, potentially saying that they had a potential large commercial investor in the currency and trying to raise money from the investors in the currency, and keeping them in the dark about who the big investor in commercial investor was, and then revealing that it was PornHub, and that people could pay for PornHub subscriptions with Verge currency. And then the Verge value crashed, and then it recovered a little bit, and the whole thing was a bit of a debacle. Well, it turns out now that PornHub have announced that they're going to increase the breadth of cryptocurrency that they take on board, and they're getting into bed with Tron, which is the currency owned by the same guy who recently bought BitTorrent, Chinese investor called Justin Sun, who's hoping to use BitTorrent to expand the reach of Tron, envisioning, this is from the article I read, envisioning it as a decentralized entertainment content sharing platform, leveraging blockchain and peer-to-peer technology.
Leveraging blockchain. It can mean so many things, in so many contexts.
Yeah, you don't even need to be doing it. You could just be, I'm leveraging the blockchain right now. You can't see it, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, I do.
But it's interesting, like the porn industry tends to always have been an early adapter of new technology, you know, with digital video and 3D and all that, because I don't know, probably you can sell a quirk easier in that industry, or anything to make yourself different or whatever. So they've kind of jumped on board and embraced. And also PornHub's going to, they've announced also be accepting Zencash, which is another cryptocurrency. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here.
Yeah, finally, blockchain verified pornography. That's
from,
what we like.
From farm to table. From pornography farm to pornography table.
From bed to screen. Yeah, it's perfect. That's good. Yeah. Well, it's funny we talk about rappers because my story for this week is about the rapper Akon, who he's an incredibly ambitious entrepreneur. He already has his Akon Lighting Africa project, which provides electricity to 15 countries in Africa. But now,
that's awesome.
which is amazing, right? And he's done a bunch of other stuff as well outside of music. But he even owns a diamond mine. But I'm burying the lead here because he is going to establish a futuristic crypto city in Senegal, somewhere just near the airport, I think, near the capital of Senegal. And it's going to be, a crypto city. And it's going to be, all exchanges will be, the currency will be Akon. Akon's own cryptocurrency. Apparently,
love it already.
It's great. What could go wrong? He's apparently already got a gift of land from the president of Senegal, and this is going to be. One article I read essentially said the crypto city will be modeled on Wakanda, the futuristic city from Black Panther, which is
my God,
so cool.
Seriously,
kind of awesome.
If that actually happened, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the diamond mine is a bit like sort of the vibranium from the Black Panther film.
Right.
And
I feel like if you own a diamond mine, you probably have a fair amount of resources to invest in this project.
How did he get a diamond? How does anyone get a diamond mine? Like, it's just like
other
fantastic.
than you're just digging one day and come across one.
Yeah. I feel like one of those things where you have to just inherit it from some, extremely wealthy, established, dodgy family. But no, you can just pick one up. That's fantastic. I mean, obviously, Akon has a lot of money, but even so, it's quite an interesting. The articles are vague on the actual details beyond it will be a city using a specific cryptocurrency.
I gotta say, I wouldn't bet against him on this. Like on him pulling this off, I wouldn't bet against him.
I'm just looking up Akon because you mentioned Akon there as the currency. I wonder, is this the Akon?
The one you're looking at, it's Akoin. I think that's probably that's possibly
okay.
Either different coin
has a total market cap of $84,000. Literal drop in the ocean.
What's the exchange rate between
AKOIN?
Akon and Dirty Coin, the coin devoted to Wu-Tang Clan's Old Dirty Bastard?
Is it a real thing?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sadly Googling
That's
this right
unbelievable.
now. Forget our current crypto investments.
That's it,
I'm throwing it all into Dirty Coin.
Put it all into Method Coin, the coin of Method Man.
Well, Ghostface Killer has a coin too.
Wow.
And I can't remember what that one's called.
Damn.
But I think all the members of the Wu-Tang Clan probably should have their own cryptocurrency.
They should.
We totally need a Snoop coin. Why is there not a Snoop coin?
Snoop coin.
There needs to be a Snoop coin.
There probably is.
Which you
I'm
could
sure there probably
definitely
is.
buy weed with.
I was going to say, I think
Yeah.
the Snoop coin is basically any of these cannabis-based ones.
Yeah, true.
The Wu-Tang coin ain't nothing to trade with. Sorry, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. That's kind of awesome.
Crypto rules everything around me.
Yes. Cream. Get the crypto. Dollar bills, no thank you.
Oh, man. Well, boy, that'll do it for your weekly Wu-Tang
Three
Clan
white
update.
guys talking about rap and cryptocurrency.
That's
Just
where
what
the
everyone
absolute
wants to
best
hear.
place to talk about this. Next, perhaps we should show our credentials as allies of feminism. Before we go on and really get ourselves into trouble here, let's put a cap on good old Craptocurrency and move on to our weekly update on our own crypto holdings. It's Are You Broke Yet? I don't know about you guys, but wow, I had a bloodbath of a week. Absolute bloodbath of a week. It was a real roller coaster. So I'm holding Monero at the moment, and at one point I bought $100 worth of Monero. At one point I think it got up to like maybe 102. Right now it's down to $91.96. So taking an absolute beating. What's interesting is basically all the cryptocurrencies had a really rough week, and they've started to rebound a bit now.
Adam, that's
not so great.
That's not a bloodbath. Tis a mere bruise. Tis a bruise.
So
all you're carrying.
I'm guessing you've got a bloodbath.
Tis nothing compared to what happened with Cardano. So I bought $100 of Cardano a couple of weeks ago. It went down to 95 last week, and just landslide this week. I'm down to $71.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a bloodbath. Wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, what specifically do you think like why Cardano? Why has it taken such a beating?
I haven't kind of got information on Cardano specifically because I literally checked the current price of it just before we came in there to film the podcast here. So I need to do a little bit more investigation. But there's been drops across the whole market, so I can
totally
carry along with that.
When what I looked at is Monero actually, of all the cryptos that had the huge drops this past week, it rebounded the fastest. It's still off a bit today. It's off like 4% in the last 24 hours, which is significant. But we had cryptos earlier in the week just did a tailspin, and then they start to stabilize a bit. And Monero apparently rebounded the quickest. So I guess that's good. How's Liz doing?
Yeah, Liz also again has been caught up in these drops. Liz bought Ripple, and I think she spent she had $91 worth, and she's now down to 75. So again, pretty brutal as well. Not quite as bad as Graham's Cardano experience, but also pretty bad. Ripple's a very volatile currency. I think it tends to be, as far as I understand, it's very much, for some reason, very much pegged to the way Bitcoin performs. It doesn't have its own sort of stability in and of itself. It's strongly
pegged to public sentiment toward Ashton Kutcher.
I see. So which has been sort of down since the third season of that 70s show. I think
it rises and falls with Ashton Kutcher's kind of cultural cachet.
Yeah. So. Which is not the best way to do. It's better than pegging your coin to Adam Sandler's cultural cachet. That would be really absolutely. You'd be literally in debt to everyone. You'd be.
Yeah. Well, I took a real bath on investing in Rob Schneider coin.
Oh.
Lads, I had a small fortune in that Bill Cosby coin. And it didn't work out well.
Coinsby? Oh, man. Yeah, that one really went south.
My Trump coins have been doing great since 2016. And I feel very guilty about it.
Boy, oh boy. We just are skirting the edge of decency, aren't we? Perhaps you know what? Let's turn back to a less dicey topic. Let's talk more about pornography and drugs.
Okay, great. Let's just close it out on a high.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Actually, what we will do now, though, is take you to a little segment we recorded that we referred to last week. Richard is still a bit of a noob, a cryptocurrency
crypto
noob.
dum-dum.
He did literally just learn to read today. So obviously he's playing a bit of catch-up. So
Weirdly, he was able to write last week, but just not read.
That was odd.
Yeah.
That was really odd. Like he would send
incredibly
me
fluently too.
He'd send me these incredibly well-written articles and be like, "Could you please sub-edit this for me?
Please read this for me.
I'm illiterate, and I don't know what it says. I just mash keys. I mash keys on my computer.
Automatic
somehow, like these beautiful, thought-provoking articles come out. He's a bit of a savant that way. But we're going to see
an idiot savant. I think would be.
We're going to see if he's a savant when it comes to latent crypto knowledge. So I'm going to throw at him a number of different blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies, some real, some fake, and he'll have to separate fact from fiction. So have a look. We've been doing this podcast for a while, and in spite of not being the sharpest tools in the shed, as it were, we've come to learn a fair amount about cryptocurrency. But this is only Richard's second podcast, so he's still a babe in the woods when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Crypto neophyte.
Like a small child just wandering through the forest unattended, hoping that a kindly lumberjack will show up to show him the way through the deep, dark woods. But today, rather than a kindly lumberjack, he's going to come across a smug, pretentious asshole who tries to make him feel dumb. So what I've done is I've put together a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, some of them real, some of them fake, and I'm going to quiz Richard and see if he can decipher cryptocurrency fact from cryptocurrency fiction. So there are 10 coins. I can tell you 5 will be real and 5 will be fictitious.
Okay.
So I'm going to name these off to you, tell you a bit about what they do, and you can tell me whether you think this is an actual coin.
All right.
Okay? So the first one is it's known as finally usable crypto karma, or fuck coin. right? And this is the token that actually gives measurable value to the fucks you have to give in any given situation.
I see.
Right?
I see.
So, you know, if you say I'm all out, then you have a way to measure that, you know? So I don't give a fuck. Now we know what that's actually worth. So what do you think, real or fake?
Well, I mean, my whole thesis here is that I can't tell because the wild world of crypto is so out of control that it's hard to know. I think that's actually real. I feel like that's an internet thing that is plausible to me.
You are correct. That is a real
There you go.
coin.
Got it.
Okay. Next is Ethereum Classic, right? So Ethereum, for anyone who knows, Ethereum early on had a hard fork where basically it went in two different directions, and there's a big falling out over how the blockchain technology behind Ethereum should work. And part of those people remained Ethereum, while the kind of diehard traditionalists, as it were, became Ethereum Classic. But then apparently Ethereum Classic began to evolve a bit, and there's still some Luddites there who wanted everything to remain the same, so they forked off on their own and became Ethereum Classic.
Wow, it sounds a lot like a kind of early Protestantism, sort of constantly splitting.
It's very similar.
Whoa, I mean, I don't want to guess that they're all true, but that just sounds so plausible that I'm going to say that's a real thing.
You are correct. That is real.
Nice.
Next is the JRR token, right? So this is it's in the massively multiplayer online role-playing game. The official currency of Middle Earth. Okay, so it can be traded within the Lord of the Rings MMORPG for skins, for different items, things like that. The JRR token. What do you think? Real or
sounds
fake?
all too plausible. I just don't know how many is it for a Lord of the Rings MMO or just in general?
It's a Lord of the Rings.
Oh man, that sounds really.
Think about World of Warcraft, of course.
Right. Okay, I'm going to say it's true as well.
That one is fake.
Damn, well played. That's
that's
extremely believable. Well done.
Next is the useless Ethereum token, right? So this is an Ethereum token that holds no value, that is not tradable, not usable. And on the ICO, it says, is this a joke? Is it a scam? Neither. This is real, and it's 100% transparent. You are literally giving your money to someone on the internet and getting completely useless tokens in return.
Wow.
The useless Ethereum token.
I feel like a lot of people would actually go for that, but I'm going to say that's fake.
That one is real.
Oh, man.
That is a real token. Next, we have Garlic Coin. Okay, this is the coin that exists solely to celebrate the majesty of garlic bread. Just basically, they're basically just saying garlic bread. Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah, nice. I'd buy that. I'm a big fan of garlic bread. I think it's real.
It is real.
Of course it is.
Next, there's Bitcoin, right? This is the blockchain solution used by the beet farming industry to track beets from farm to table.
Damn, that's, again, totally believable, but I just feel like the specificity of beet makes it more and also less believable. I'm going to coin toss and say it's fake.
You are correct.
But there's plenty of coins that do that, though.
Oh, 100%. There is a banana coin.
Oh, my God.
The coin just for the banana industry.
There you go.
Next, we have Ow My Groin coin, right? This is, whereas most cryptocurrencies are mined using complex algorithms, this one, the only way you can mine Ow My Groin coin is to allow its founders to kick you in the groin. And one groin kick is equal to 0.005 of an Ow My Groin coin.
Wow, I wonder what that's worth in real dollars, but that, you'd hope it'd be worth a bit. I'm going to say it's fake. It's a good one, though.
It is fake.
For now, I think.
For now.
But like,
for now.
Someone's already made it.
It's fake, but it's a billion-dollar idea.
It is. It's, yeah.
Okay. Next is Funk coin. Okay, this is the coin to support your favorite internet-only funk musicians.
Interesting. Which, I mean, I've always found it hard to support my favorite internet.
It is. You want to find an avenue to do it.
You do,
but
yeah.
it's so hard.
Cash just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't. Just and it's tough to do over the internet.
It is, right? Yeah, and it's and there's so
you
many
know,
fun.
And
acts.
if you're trying to transfer it internationally, you face all these international transfer fees.
Yeah,
this can
funk
move across.
sanctions in certain.
That's right. Oh yeah,
Cuba.
Certain countries will not allow you to bring in denoise or bring into funk.
Yeah, it's a real thorny internet. I don't want to get political,
the citizens are clamoring. We want the funk.
Want the funk.
Got to have the
That's
funk.
it. Yeah. I'm going to say that. Oh, that's real. I reckon that's real.
It is real.
Yes.
All right, final one. If you've been keeping track,
I haven't been.
Then,
So
okay.
I need a coin to keep track of
Yeah.
my guessing of fictional coins.
Okay, so this. Okay, this final one is
All right.
Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin.
But yeah.
It is the a cryptocurrency that is created, used, and solely traded in New Zealand. Bitcoin.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Bitcoin.
So like Bitcoin, but
Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay.
And it's mint.
It's choice, eh?
It's choice.
All right. I'm going to say that is real.
That is fake.
Damn. Well, again, it should be real
So
because it's mint.
there we go. So you are 1, 2, 3, 4. You are evenly split, my friend.
There you go.
Evenly split.
There you
five,
go.
5 correct, 5 wrong.
So it's a 50% success rate.
50% success rate, which
pretty
is
good
much
in this game.
much better than ICOs.
Thank you.
So there you go. Thanks very much, folks. And I think we all learned a little something today.
Certainly did.
Thanks for listening to HODL That Thought. We'll be back next week if cryptocurrencies are still a thing. And make sure you head over to finder.com/HODL-that-thought to find the show notes for this episode and more great episodes. We're focused on providing information and entertainment. We're not a securities dealer and we're not encouraging you to trade. Cryptocurrencies are volatile and unpredictable, so get advice rather than acting on anything we say. Read our disclaimer, understand our approach, and then sit back and enjoy our podcast. You might learn something. Stranger things have happened.